question of, man, are we fighting a fight? Are we going to win? You're questioning that? Listen to what Andy just said. He saw this happening in China, communist China. He saw everything that's happening here. My girlfriend's dad from Romania, they fought communism. He said it to us a year ago. He said exactly what's happening in the States is what happened there before it went that way. Are we stupid or are we going to stand up? And it's simple. We're not asking for a handout. We're asking for a fair and honest election. We're demanding, I agree, we're demanding for a fair and honest election. So with that, another state senator has fought and has continued to fight and help child sex trafficking and is State Senator David Farnsworth, please. First clarification is I agree and we will not concede. Is going to happen. And I've traveled across the state, I've seen all the Biden signs. I've traveled across the state, I've seen all the Biden signs. I think I saw 6. Yeah. And I've talked to people. I've never met anyone that liked Sleepy Joe. Yeah. So where did all those votes come from? I guess they're all the dead people that. So, I want to suggest something.
They're having tyrannical, crazy.
They
can't do this.
When President Trump is declared the winner, I want each of you to become precinct committeemen. How many of you are precinct committeemen? Raise your hands. Not very many, folks. How many of you know what a precinct committeeman is? Raise your hand. Not very many of it. I'm going to tell you what it is. I have said in many speeches publicly that the most important elected official in America is a precinct committeeman. And if there's anyone more important than a precinct committeeman, it's a precinct captain, because the captain calls the committeemen together. A precinct committeeman is a neighborhood worker. We talk a lot about grassroots. We were all excited when the Tea Party came along. We thought they were going to change the world, okay? And good things were done. Good things are being done. But a lot of good things, including our great new Senator Kelly Townsend was born through the Tea Party movement. She started one of the Tea Parties. Hey, and I love Kelly Townsend. She's a winner. By the way, I am not running for governor. I'm not running for senator either. We have in Arizona term limits. I'm turned out, and I am so grateful that Kelly Townsend is replacing me. And I got to tell you, I have voted for her a single shot every single time because she is a true American. Now, I was just in my office over at the Senate, and it's pretty quiet over there. During the week, it's really quiet. And you heard why, because the legislature has adjourned sine die. You know what sine die means? That is for the rest of the year. According to the Arizona Constitution, on the second Monday of January, we are to return as a legislature, and we again have power to do the right thing. But once we sine die, we cut our authority off, and as was said, we turn it over to the governor. There's only 2 ways we can come back as a legislature and have any power. One, with a 2/3 vote, and we can't get that because the Democrats won't vote with us. Number two, for the governor to call us into special session, and he won't do that because he's afraid we will pull away his power to shut down the state. And I guarantee you I would lend my vote to that enthusiastically. Now, I heard that we need to replace Katie Hobbs. We need to replace the governor also. Now, how do we do that? We need to raise up 1,000 new people to run. We've got good people out there. Now, if you read in the book of Exodus, chapter 18, verse 24, it talks about Moses is standing there. He's trying to judge all these people, and they're lined up for blocks, waiting to be judged. And Moses' father-in-law Jethro walks up and he says, Moses, this is not good. You're going to wear yourself out and you're wearing the people out. You need to organize. Right. I'm going to remind you of precinct committeemen. Right now or later, Google precinct committeemen. Go to the Maricopa County site. It's not very user-friendly, but dig in, find out what it is. Become a precinct committeeman. It takes 10 signatures on a petition. And there's lots of open positions. I'm in District 16, Dallas precinct. If you look on the back of your voter card, it'll tell you what precinct you belong to. It's important to find out. But in District 16, we have 13.3% of the precinct committeemen that we should have. We have 42 precinct committeemen. We should have 315. So if you live east of Power Road, it's wide open, and I tell you, all across the state, we need precinct committeemen, and that's where the real power is. The precinct committeeman, number one job they have is to recruit people to run. Now back to the book of Exodus. Jethro told Moses, you need to find good men who are honest, God-fearing men, non-covetous. Now I read that, I said, what does non-covetous mean? And I thought of the politicians across this country, and politicians, and I'm not talking about statesmen. Okay, we have some great statesmen, great patriots like Kelly Townsend. But a politician is covetous. What do they covet? Power, money, fame, or all three. It's very natural in human beings to covet power. Most people, when they get in position, they don't know how to handle it. And so we need to, like Jethro said, go out and find people who are non-covetous, people who don't want to run for office. Because generally what we do, we go to the ballot and what do we choose? The lesser of the evils, don't we? In most cases, there are some exceptions, like President Trump. He was the exception. Now, what is the number one thing? A lot of us, there's people we don't care for, like Katie Hobbs. She needs to be replaced. And how do we do that? Do we recall her? Well, we need to raise someone up that's stronger than her to run against her. And we have a governor's race coming up in 2 years, and I'm glad we have at least one good candidate. We ought to have 100 good people who don't necessarily want. Okay, how do we get an audit? I heard a question. We need to contact the board. We need to contact the Board of Supervisors, Maricopa County Board of Supervisors. They have the power to do that. Okay, in the county, but if we win Maricopa County, we can do it. Okay, I got to be short here. I want to tell you what happened in the legislature. Why did we sine die? I don't know why we're afraid to use the word conspiracy. Because conspiracies happen all the time. In fact, if you're a parent with teenage children, you better believe in conspiracies because they're always conspiring against you, right? Now, I got elected to the legislature the first time in 1994, and I tell you what, there's conspiracies going on over here all the time, particularly by Democrats, but also Republicans. And we have a swamp in Washington, we have a swamp here. And it's not just Democrats. We have Republicans who are part of the swamp. Yeah. So we came in to vote to give some protection to everybody called the county supervisors and you can get it. Now, let me just tell you what happened right before he died. We came in here to give small businesses some protection against frivolous lawsuits. We walked in, we always start with a prayer and the pledge. This time we didn't even have time to have a prayer and pledge because you know what? 3 Republicans conspired with the Democrats to shut us down. And before we even had the prayer, someone made a motion to sine die. They called for a vote, and all 13 Republicans, or 13 Democrats plus 3 Republicans voted to sine die and shut us down and turned the state over to the governor. And I'm going to name him right now. I named him on the floor of the Senate. I did a Facebook Live right there on the spot, and I named him. And they are Senator Heather Carter, Senator Kate Brophy McGee, Senator Paul Boyer. Now here's the good news, folks. Heather Carter lost her race in the primary. She was a conspirator. She met regularly with the Democrats. Kate Brophy McGee lost her race in the general. We're sorry that we are short in the Republican Party, but we need a real Republican in there. Paul Boyer is still there. Watch Paul Boyer. He's kind of a follower. I think we can put our arm around him and keep him on the straight and narrow. But pay attention. Just know that if you allow the legislature out of control, and it's very, very, what do we have? 31 in the House and 16 in the Senate, razor thin. We need to be vigilant. All of us need to become precinct committeemen. So, don't be afraid to talk about conspiracy because conspiracies happen all the time. We have the power. We have the power, but what we need to do is save America one neighborhood at a time as precinct committeemen, okay? And you don't have to wait for another election. You can become appointed right now. I love America. I know we all love America. Thank you for coming. God bless America.
Thank you, State Senator David Farnsworth. Thank you. USA. Hey, you know what? Here we go. We want an audit. 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 This gentleman coming up here now ran for Congress in CD7, and let me tell you, it's shitty because they didn't put him in. But I'll tell you what, this man stands and fights for America. He has stood here with us fighting for child sex trafficking. He's been a man of America, he's a man of the people, and he's gonna help teach us what we need to do to get an audit as well. Guys, please give it up for Josh Barnett.
I'm not the rah-rah type. I'm the type that wants to just kind of run people over, I guess. And it looks like we got a lot of rhinos and Democrats that need run over. I remember back in March, and you can look back through my Twitter page and everybody else's, I was probably the first one to call Ducey out on his unconstitutional tyrannical emergency order. I even to the point where my campaign manager was like, Josh, you gotta back off. And I told him I don't give a damn. when you're right about something, you're right about. You're not. You should never back off, and I never will. I never will. Governor Ducey's wrong for what he's done. He's wrong for right now. You know, this is his chance, and I thought it'd be appropriate to quote Dumb and Dumber, to totally redeem himself. And he could do that by calling a special session and get a vote and get a full forensic audit on the Dominion voting systems. They've been proven across the country to flip votes from Trump to Biden, and probably down the ticket for a lot of people. Now, we got a lot of close races in the Senate. Look at Michigan. That's a close race. That might flip, who knows? But we're never gonna know until Governor Ducey does his job, what we put him in for, and quit acting like a damn Democrat. Now, Katie Hobbs, as you guys know, called every one of you here neo-Nazis. I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of the left and those whack jobs calling us racist, homophobes, and everything else. And I'm here to tell Katie Hobbs and all her minions over there, if you got nothing to hide, then why are you so against this independent audit? All we want is an independent audit on these machines. And we want an audit on every legal vote in Arizona. And I'm willing to bet when that happens, Arizona's gonna remain red and President Trump's gonna remain there. Now, I want you guys to know too, like many of the other speakers, you need to contact and email and call until your fingers hurt for pressing the buttons. Clint Hickman, Steve Chukri, Jack Sellers, Bill Gates, and that's at the Maricopa, Board of Supervisors, Katie Hobbs' office, the Secretary of State, Governor Ducey's office. Call constantly, email them, demand a full audit on the Dominion machines and every vote in this state. Listen, they've forgotten, and I'm here to remind everybody that according to our Constitution, all the power is inherent in the people. Not some of it, not a little bit, all of it. Now, to prove my point with that, Governor Ducey put us, the first shutdown. I own a gym here also in California. So I shut down for a few weeks, and I was pissed. And I know a lot of people were not happy about that. Him picking and choosing is not right. So, but I found a way. A good friend of mine, David Jose, said, "Hey Josh, have you read the Arizona State Constitution?" I said, "Yes, of course." "Let me show you something. ARS 26317 says, in the first half of it, that if you're in the public, which we're not, you have to follow his order. But the second half of the ARS 26317 says if you're in a private, you can tell them to kick rocks." So that was the whole premise of what we began. So I moved my business into the private. I also moved self-made training centers into the private. I also moved Mountainside Fitness, as you guys know. They had all those problems. They got moved into the private. Now they still got to fight the public stuff beforehand. But if you look at their front doors, it'll say Private Membership Association. And what that does, that protects us, the people, in the private from his BS emergency order. Now, let me show you the power of this. So I got a friend, Tommy, in New Jersey. He was Top Shelf Fitness. He was having the same problems there with that moron, Governor Murphy. So he actually ended up going to court. We took him into arbitration. They didn't know what was happening. It was pretty funny. So we took him to a constitutional arbitration, and then he got awarded $1.2 million. It was funny because they had no idea what was happening. It was great. Same thing in California, John Franco, Coliseum Boot Camp. You can look it up. He was awarded $455,000. So what we do is we put penalties in this. We put penalties in here in this affidavit. We put penalties in and we tell them, you're going to mess with this, you're going to pay for it. And that's what I'm calling on everybody else to do here. These affidavits are powerful. And we have a lady named Carrie. She's on the walkway to the Capitol. She's in a Statue of Liberty outfit. If you have seen any type of voter fraud, you were told to press the green button to put your ballot through, or if you have any other questions about moving your business into the private to protect yourself, simply get a hold of me, talk to me afterwards. But if you have anything, please get an affidavit, because if it's not an affidavit, it's just a story. It doesn't mean anything. So it's upheld legally, and that's what we need right now, and that's what Giuliani's been asking for. My team's in D.C. right now. They have information about voter fraud from 16 and 18, and they wanted to see it. So my team's out there, and they gave them everything. So we got to do what we can to clean up this state. We also, you guys got to get involved. You got to be involved, and Dave Farnsworth is right. Senator Farnsworth said you have to get involved with the party. There's a lot of rhinos here that need to get booted. And if I had to see another Jeff Flake or a Cindy McCain, and I probably shouldn't say those names just for my own political reasons, right? But you know what? I ran for the right reasons, so I don't give it what they think. These people are worse to me than any Democrat. They're nothing but a wolf in sheep's clothing. And I'm telling you, in 2022, we've already identified who you people are, like Brian said, and we've been talking a lot with many other people around the state. And we are going to primary you out, and we're going to put true conservative constitutionalists into the state and into Congress. So I want to thank everybody. And remember, call all your legislators, call and tell them that you demand an audit. Okay, you demand an audit, and let's get President Trump in here 4 more years.
Thank you, Josh. 4 more years. 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 You know, as we chant 4 more years, I ask myself, I'm like, man, I tell I'm like, there's no way. President Trump has gotten a true 73 million votes. A true and honest higher now, yeah, but we have gotten the right amount, the biggest election, the amount of votes received by a president. And it's just like, how are we sitting here handling this? How is this happening to us? You know, it's so discerning, but you know, I'll tell you guys something. I don't mind putting this out there. We brought up the rhinos of here. Many of you know Cindy McCain. Let me tell you something. We stood right here, this exact place we stood. We threw child sex trafficking against child sex trafficking rallies a couple months ago. We had a couple thousand people fill up this whole bowl against child sex trafficking. It was amazing. You know what I got a call from? I got a call from the Arizona Republic. The guy said, hey Adele, Cindy McCain's on the governor's board and she made a comment about what you guys are doing. I go, okay, let's hear it. And they go, you know, she's saying what you're doing is not actually helping child sex trafficking. She said it's a part of the conspiracy. So the guy asked me, he goes, Adele, so let me ask you something, you know, so we don't, you know, just to understand if it is a conspiracy or not. He said, do you think that people higher up, because he's looking for conspiracy theory. He said, do you think people higher up are involved? I said, well, let me ask you something. He goes, what? I go, if you don't pay your taxes, do they show up at your doorstep? He goes, yeah. I go, then how the hell does a $150 billion industry go without being taxed? There's somebody higher up. And he's like, okay, so next question, and moved on, because they can't handle it. They don't want to hear it. And Cindy McCain has the audacity to stand up against people that are trying to stand against child sex trafficking. But Cindy, while you and your late husband fought child sex trafficking, it just seemed to grow. It just seemed to get bigger and bigger. So tell us what we're doing wrong, Cindy, because I got a lot to tell you. And this is what we're dealing with in our state, guys, where we can stand and unite, but our politicians and our legislators, they want to put us down. And it's in your power to make change. It's in your power to get loud. It's in your power to make sure we have the right people running for the powers here in the state. We can't be fighting child sex trafficking to have the governor's board saying we're doing something wrong. That's wrong. And it's concerning, guys. It's concerning. So, HonestElections2020.com allows you to go and find all the legislators from your state. It allows you to get a hold of them. It gives you their contact information and everything. I push you guys to use that. There was one more website. Hey, guys, what was that website? ElectionAuditNow.org, and you can reach out to the Maricopa County supervisors and everybody and push for an audit. ElectionAuditNow.org. Everybody needs to go there and push. If you're standing here to fight, you need to go to that. ElectionAuditNow.org. Okay? We will push for an audit. We are going to get an audit, and Arizona is going to stay red. A patriot that we've had. Hey, Griffin, are you here by chance, Griffin? Griffin, get your ass up here. Come here, buddy. Guys, I have to bring this guy up. He approached me and said, "Hey, Doug, can I sing?" And I said, "Man, you're welcome to sing." And he sang the other night. And if he doesn't move you with this Star Spangled Banner, I don't know what does. Griffin, get on up here, brother. I knew he'd be here. I said, let's hear it, Griffin. Let's hear what you got. I swear to God, he started singing. I go, whoa, 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 whoa. And then the whole crew got around. Everybody take off your hats, raise those flags, and let's give Griffin a little listen.
Let me switch my hand here. There we go. Gotta do it properly.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all we're doing is
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
USA, 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 USA. Hey guys, those video boards that you see going around, this man has been behind them. I want you to give a warm welcome to Brian.
Man, I don't know. That's a hard act to follow right there, a moving Star Spangled Banner like that. I gotta tell you, there's never been a time in my life where I'm driving down the street and I see an American flag on the house or in a car, and I think to myself, there's a Republican or there's somebody voting for Trump. How pathetic is that we are defined by our political party by supporting our flag? That just blows me away. I have so much pride. I have so much pride in this country. I'm a second-generation Arizonan, small business owner, and all they're trying to do is silence our voices. I heard Brian up here say it. They want to silence our voice. They want to take it away. I own a little company called We Fix Ugly Pools. I'm also known as the Ugly Pool Guy, for those of you who don't know. My business gets called every single day. I've been called a racist, a Klans member. I've been cussed at. We've been stuff thrown at us when we're driving down the road. But our staff are harassed every day. And my girls ask me, why do you continue to go out there knowing these calls are going to come in? I said, in 2016, I said nothing. I went to the polls and I voted. And I listened. And I listened to how Hillary Clinton was going to walk away with this election and how she was going to take it. It was going to be a landslide. And I watched on election night. And who became our president but Donald J. Trump? So I convicted myself that year, 2016. I was convicted that when this election came around, I would be silent no more, because I saw what was happening in 2016. It was a litmus test for what they did this year. Think about this, the amount of corruption that they had in Hillary's campaign. She was confident that she was going to win, so much so that she couldn't even come out and give a concession speech. She was drunk. But I will tell you, if you think about this, they cheated so badly and had no idea what was getting ready to happen to them at the polls. So this year, they pulled out all the stops, knowing that they were going to have to just have this insurmountable lead to overcome. 73 million Americans legally voted for Donald J. Trump. So what scares me about this is they said, okay, we need to have the panic button. We need to have the oh shit button out there. And as the election numbers start to come in, we need to hit that button and we need to be able to attack it on every angle. And you think about this, from mail-in voting to in-ballot voting to in-person voting to the electoral college. They wanted everything under their control, where they stopped an election that they saw was trending so they could bring in more votes and ensure the loss of Donald Trump with numbers that have never before been seen. Without campaigning, I've done 40 rallies, Nevada, Arizona, Texas. My video trucks have been at over 30 rallies here in the state of Arizona. We've led some of the largest Trump trains, 96 miles of cars. We're surrounded every day by fellow patriots and fellow Americans. People who love this country and love our president and believe in where the direction of the country is going. I have been to 4 Biden-Harris rallies, 4 of them, myself. Because I have to always look at what's going on the other side. It's how you educate yourself. You can't stand on one side of the street and expect to know what's going on the other side unless you cross the goddamn road, right? So I crossed the road, I went to the rallies. You know how many people showed up for Cher's concert? 30 people. And I don't know how many of those were Trump supporters that crossed the street with me. It was embarrassing. We're standing on the street corner with 300 patriots outside the event with 30 Biden supporters at a Cher concert. I drive down the road in these video trucks. Out of 15 people that honk and wave, 1 person flips us off. 1. I drive up the Prescott Valley. We get followed by thousands of people honking and waving in our little train up to Prescott Valley to see Donald Trump. I see I counted a handful of people who flip me off or tell us, we're racist or whatever. But that is a good test for the dynamics of our voting system right here. So you're telling me that Arizona, historically a red state with the largest turnout of any of our patriot voters, with pop-up events on every corner, with tents selling flags, shirts, hats, lost to Joe Biden, who couldn't pull but 30 people at a Cher concert? It's not happening. I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I'm not a super smart guy.
I feel like I'm pretty educated, but I'm not super smart. But I can look at things and know, hey, if 1 + 1 = 2, how can 3 + 1 = 9? And that's the counting system that they have. They just decide what votes they want and what votes they get. And because of that, we're standing out here to what? Stop the steal. What are we doing? Stop the steal. I can't hear you. Stop the steal. That is unfortunate day in America. We have to stand here at an election knowing full well, not conspiracy theory, but valid fact, that our election was stolen from our great president. That we saw the largest amount of corruption in the history of presidential elections. Do you guys see what's going on in Washington right now? That town is shut down. You know what Donald Trump did today? He rolled down his window and he drove through the crowd. How many of you think Obama would have rolled down his window? But yet, Joe Biden pulled 12 million more votes than President Obama. Oh, hold on. President Obama didn't have, or Joe Biden didn't have law enforcement, military. He had the largest black exit of voters in the history of the Democratic Party. I don't know too many small business owners that really want Biden policies, myself included. He had a lot of dead voters. But the reality is, folks, is that you are here for a reason, and what your voice is saying and what it's being heard is that we will not allow them to steal this election, because we are here to... Oh, come on, you guys can do better than that. What are we here to do? Look, I've been honored to be around you guys. I've met thousands of you. The day after our viewing party up there off of Lake Pleasant, they deleted my entire Facebook account to a point where every photo that I've ever been tagged in is gone from the internet. They erased my existence. 14-year business page I don't even have access to anymore. There's 3 Facebook employees that are now admins of my business page. They took my voice because they've seen how we have been getting progressively better at what we're doing. The day after the election, 8 a.m. in the morning, I had a Facebook, 8:01 I did not. I tried to appeal it. There was nothing that even appealed. They said, there's not open for appeal, done. That's just how it goes. That's what we're facing. If they win this election, don't think that that's not going to be the norm. That's why the mass exit to Parler, MeWe, and Liberty, and all the other ones, right? Because we need a voice. I love you people. I love all of you. Second generation Arizonan. I love America first. I love Arizona second. And I love all of you right now just as much as I love America. I'm going to give a few minutes. I've talked way more than I was supposed to. I'm going to give a few minutes to introduce Buddy. I don't know how many of you have seen the Trump bus at all the events. He's got the motorhome Trump bus. He's kind of a local celebrity. He's been on nationwide news channels, been featured in all kinds of articles, has a Trump store in Wickenburg, Arizona, if you're taking a drive. Let me introduce Buddy real quick. Here you go, Buddy.
Wow, I'm kind of intimidated. There's a bunch of great speakers that I've followed, so I don't have all the hype and everything they do, but it's been an honor to be here in town, in this state. Met great people like Brian. I don't know if y'all seen the fire truck. It's owned by a great guy named Tony. His wife's right here in the audience, to the blonde, to just say hello. They've led some parades with us. Anyways, we started off at the White House in January, and our goal was to travel the whole country, but with the Antifa and the Black Lives Matter and all this kind of stuff, I guess if it was a regular car and something happened to it, we go rent another one and get another one and get on the road. But you know, it's a nice bus. There's a lot of time went into the design of it. So we try to, people say, has anything bad ever happened to it? And I say no, because we plan where we go and we don't go where anything bad's gonna happen to it. But anyways, we started off in Washington in January. We went all over Pennsylvania, registered voters. I assumed that the president can get on the ballot anywhere, but a lot of states he has to have an X amount of people signing up for him to run for election. So we went to Pennsylvania and West Virginia and North Carolina, South Carolina. The last event we did was in Trump's hotel in Vegas, and we came here in Arizona because Bernie and Biden were going to debate back then, and we were going to bring a couple hundred people here holding Trump flags in front of the debate hall and give them a warm, you know, we love you, Trump's here in town, kind of welcome. But it got moved to Washington, and we couldn't get there in time, and then it got canceled, and then the country closed down all in a matter of a few days. So Sheriff Joe Arpaio invited us to stay up in Fountain Hills with him, and we couldn't think of a better place to stay than Arizona. It's just been, and I don't just say that because I'm here in Arizona. I truly mean that. We've led a lot of great parades here, met a lot of good people. We've led parades around the country. Now, I've never seen parades like y'all can do. 96 miles of cars, thousands. I've never even seen events like y'all hold down here. So, anyways, I'm not going to take too long. I'll just tell you that the bus is funded by selling hats and shirts. All the Republican politicians in the country can use it free of charge. We don't ask for a penny. Here, Congressman Paul Gosar has used it a few times. David Schweikert's used it a few times. Sheriff Joe Arpaio has used it. We don't let him in. We can put him under the bus. But anyways, we fund the bus by selling hats and shirts. And in order to get a lot more people out there wearing Trump hats and flying Trump flags, today we're doing a buy one, get one free at the bus. So before y'all leave, it's Christmas time. If y'all all want to come, we take cash, credit cards, debit cards, car titles, deeds to homes. Anyways, I want to tell Brian thanks for, we do a lot of great trades with him, and he's a good guy. And thank y'all all for being here. And if you're around Winterberg, come visit the Trump train store there, and that's where the buses pass. Thank y'all so much.
All right, last thing, I almost forgot. Do we have anybody out here in Legislative District 21? Is there any people who live in LE 21? All right, just so you know, keep my name handy because you will be seeing me on the ballot. Brian Morris, Legislative District 21. Coming up next election, we are not going away. This is our year. This is our year to say the elections happen every single day, not just when they happen in the election years. There's three things that I believe by. We need to embrace, we need to equip, and we need to empower everybody who comes through the Republican Party. We need to get people out there, get them going. The one thing we are not doing is we are not embracing, we are not equipping, we are not empowering enough of our future leaders. And with that, I think we got a pretty special person coming up.
Hey guys, so a couple updates on some stuff. Are you guys familiar with what's happening in Pennsylvania? Okay, so in Pennsylvania, basically what happened is the Secretary of State thought she had a little bit more power than she did, kind of like Hobbs over here. They didn't allow the observers, which, guys, honestly, I'm not even mad at. Because I hope the Supreme Court just comes in and says, get rid of those votes. It's like, thanks. I appreciate you screwing up and thinking you're way more powerful. The president does it, and you guys get on TV and rant, but you guys do it and think you're, gung-ho. So email just came in from President Trump's, these updated emails said, we have huge news. Pennsylvania recently sided with the Republican National Committee and the Trump campaign that the state secretary unlawfully extended the deadline for absentee voters to provide missing proof of identification. These are the wins. These are the wins that we're fighting for, guys. These are the wins. And you know what? Those wins are there because they've done it unlawfully over and over, and now we're going to hold them to it, and the Supreme Court will reign. You watch what happens. I want you guys to join me real quick. I do want to say, because we like to break this up, join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'd raise those flags and take off those hats. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I also saw a government source that just came out that said that the Dominion's being, that's tracked to Germany and Venezuela. made in China. Coming from a tech expert, okay, media, coming from a tech expert, it's not hard to hack these machines. I know some hacker friends that can hack each and every one of your phones right now, just standing here. It's not hard to do it. So it's not a conspiracy when I say we need to audit the system. There's a reason why Microsoft hires hackers to hack their systems to go. So we just simply just saying, let's audit the system. Let's just make sure it was right. And if you guys are right and everything was good, we accept it. We want a simple, fair, and honest election. Okay? They make a car, they don't just put it on in the dealership, they gotta test drive it. They gotta make sure it's good. Just because the inspector said it's good, you gotta freaking test drive it. That's all we're asking for, is a fair and honest election. So guys, a young stud here from Turning Point that's been fighting the fight, Arian Fernandez, please.
Who's ready for 4 more years? Guys, I can sense it. All of those media people and all of those liberals and Democrats, they're scared right now. We're winning slowly, but we're gonna win big. All right? It's coming up. I'm gonna tell you guys my story. I'm really young. I'm only 20 years old. When I was 8, my dad owns a small business. When I was 8, it was 2008, and my dad had to lay off 8 of his employees. My dad's an electrician, and he had to take me to work. Little 8-year-old kid, I was on construction sites all my life. Yeah, and I've seen right now, like, before in the Obama years, I was asking my dad questions about politics and stuff like that. I was always questioning things. And Trump got elected in 2016. I said, I need to do something. Right? Who here feels like they need to do something, right? Yeah? We're at that point right now where we all need to do something. Right? Me personally, the thing that I did is I made a high school chapter at my high school, a Turning Point chapter at my high school. We got a little bit of pushback there, but we're good. We got it started. I ended up getting into politics, and let me tell you, older people, there's a lot more young patriots than you guys think. There's a lot more. There is still not enough. All right? Get your kids involved with YARS, with Turning Point, with YAF. Get involved on college campuses and high school campuses. There are things out there, there are resources for them to get involved. Okay? Under Trump, I have never seen this in my life. There was kids my age working the trades. There was drywallers my age. Hispanics, right? Hispanic-owned businesses. There were drywallers hiring their wives and their kids because the business was so well. Then COVID happened. Then that scam happened. That virus happened from China. Yep. Guys, I don't want them to take my country. Right? We won't let them take our country, right? We want President Trump. Trump gave me hope, and I'm sure he's given all of you guys hope too. Who here has gotten hope back? Yeah? Who's ready for 4 more years? 4 more years! 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 Everybody here, you guys need to contact your legislators, ask for a full hand recount and an audit of this election. Everybody here, contact your legislators right now.
Right now on your phone.
Revote! Amen.
Or revolt. Do it right now.
Hang all the traitors!
Our campuses are being overrun by these communists. Are they not? Who here has high school or college kids? Right? I see you guys. Who here still donates to their alma mater?
Not anymore.
Yeah, you better not. I'll find you, I'll hunt you down. Do not donate to those communists. And another thing too, think about what you're doing when you're sending your kids to college. I didn't go to college. I'm still working for my dad as electrical apprentice. Right? That's not always the way you want to go, right? Trade schools will make you more money. So, start from the perspective of my kid is not going to college, and if they are, I want to know why. Are they becoming a doctor? Yes. Okay, they can go to college. If it requires them to go to college, let them go to college. If not, don't go. It's not worth sacrificing their values. We need teachers in those college campuses. We need more teachers in those college campuses, right? Real teachers. People that teach 1776 and not the 1619 project. That's right. Oh yeah, we need high school teachers too.
Education, not indoctrination! Not his story, not the liberal story. Private school! Stop the agenda!
Sorry guys, this is like one of my first times public speaking. So. 4 more years! 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 4 more years!
Doing great.
Who here owns a small business? I see you guys. Who here has been hurt by COVID?
We built up, and we're going to keep it that way. We just need to keep fighting for a true democracy. The thing about it is I fear for my son later on that one day his voice is not going to matter. I'm very sad right now for the first-time voters who got out there and are like, yes, my voice is going to be heard, and now they're like, what am I going to vote for? Now I realize why so many people were like, what does it matter? It should matter. Your voices should matter. Absolutely. That's why we have an election, but we cannot. And if Joe Biden truthfully cares about uniting people, he said he's going to be the president to unite. Why are you going to allow 70 million plus Americans to sit here and claim fraud, and you're not even going to entertain the idea of let's do some researching. Let's look into this. Let's give the American people hope in a fair democracy. If he is truly fairly elected, he should have no problem with it. But I don't even think he's out there. I don't even think he's out there for himself. I think he's being played like a puppet. You guys, pray for this guy because he is being used as a pawn too. I'm serious. That poor old man, and I say poor old man because he is an elder and he is a human being. He's been through a lot. I'm not saying anything, but he has fallen into an evil trap. People that are very evil, and his family's in with it, and they're all okay with this corruption. It's terrible. It's absolutely saddening. He looks like a puppet up there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you just sold your soul to the devil to gain the world. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? We can't allow that, you guys. So just keep up the fight. Keep up the good fight for freedom. And one more thing. I cannot help but love our history so much. I love history throughout the world. It's so amazing to think about what brave men and women coming together and putting a stop to things can do. Back when our country was fought by those colonists, they were just colonists, farmers, this and that. They didn't have much, but they had enough. That's one thing they did have. They had enough. They were done being taxed. They were done being misrepresented. They were absolutely fed up with it, and they didn't say, well, I got a 9 to 5, so I better just, rely on that. I got a house, so I'm just going to keep paying taxes because it's comfortable, right? Now we've gotten these liberties. We've gotten comfortable with what we have. We're not going to have it pretty soon if we're not careful. So get rid of that comfort. Be uncomfortable and keep pressing forward. Who cares about the 9 to 5? That's about to be gone anyway. You're not going to have it, okay? Those people, those men and women fought bravely. And I'll say it again. Think about the wars, long muskets, sitting there against your opponent, right across the field knowing, I'm going to die on this front line. But I don't care, because if that man behind me has a child that can know what freedom tastes like, I'm going to die for it today. And they did it. And they did it over and over. Live outside of yourself. Think about those minds that got into this country. I don't care. I'm going to fight for my freedom because I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. I'm not living on them. No. Wipe the dirt off, get off your knees, and stand on your feet and die like an American if you have to. That's what it's going to take. God bless America.
USA, 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 USA. That's another true form of empowered woman right there. We respect you, Candace. We love you. Thank you. Guys, please give it up for a gentleman that ran for Secretary of State in California and plans on running again. His name is Raul Rodriguez Jr.
Thank you, folks. I got a short message. I just want to share that in 2017, for the past 20 years, I have been working the elections in California. And I discovered that there's a lot of fraud. And that's the reason why I decided to run for Secretary of State in California. As a matter of fact, I came in third out of 8 candidates. And in 2022, I plan on running again, and I plan on winning. We are going to take back California. We're going to turn it red like it used to be. Now, I'd like to share that we work with a bunch of different organizations. We the People Rising in California. I am the California Coordinator for America First Latinos. The Remembrance Project is Robin Vixton. She ran for the 41st District in California. And I'd just like to say that the message I want to send to each and every one of you is that I want to encourage you. The only way we're going to win back our country and get rid of the Democrats is by you taking the step to run against anyone in your city, state, because we need to reclaim our country. And the only way we can do it is with your help. You are the people that need to take control of your country. It is up to you. You need to step up and start filling out the paperwork and run for whatever it is that you want to run for. But make sure that you run for 2 reasons: for your country and for the fact that you love this country, because I sure as hell do. I love this country, and I plan, if I have to fight for this country, I'd give up my life. That's how much I love it. So it's up to you. It's up to you to step up to the plate and start running for political office. Please do so. Thank you very much. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump. And
and God bless our Savior, Jesus Christ. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Raul Rodriguez Jr. Remember that name. Hey, mark my words. California goes red sooner than later. There comes a point where they realize what we're doing is not working. It's just not working. Okay? There's a reason why all the big companies are leaving California. And they're going to get to that point where they realize their ways are just not working. This isn't that we want to be right. It's just those ways just don't work. Guys, probably from one of the most judged people here. It's clearly said and stated. But I tell you what, this man is a veteran. He has stood and fought for America, and he's here to stand and fight for you. Everybody, Jake.
Thank you. Oh, what a warm welcome. I love you guys. He is right. I am a veteran. I served in the United States Navy, and when I took that oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, I meant it, baby! So I look out here today, and I see a bunch of patriots standing here in defiance of tyranny. You, ladies and gentlemen, are the resistance. This is a fight not just for Arizona, not just for America, but for the future of the world. I've heard many people say we should be scared. No, we should be passionate and angry. We, ladies and gentlemen, are the front lines on this spiritual and psychological war. And we are winning! I would like to say to our communist infiltrators at some of the highest levels of government, whether it be Katie Hobbs or Doug Douchebag, or it be people like pedo Joe Biden. Just like what Leonidas said to the Persians when they came and told him that they had better submit to the Persians. Well, this isn't Sparta. This is America! And we will not accept communism. We will not submit to globalism. We will not accept tyranny. We will protect our children. We will stand up for the Constitution. And we will take back our unalienable God-given rights. So, you guys, we are going to be going on a march. Are you guys ready to march? Are you ready to take back America? Where are we marching? We're going to go around the Capitol. Apparently we got one more speaker. I thought we were ending with me, but we got one more speaker, okay? So before I give up the mic, this is what I'm going to tell you. What you are doing is working. Otherwise, social media would not be trying to censor you. You are not being silenced. You are being censored. Are you guys being silent right now? No! Are you being censored? Yes! So I have a solution for this idea of censorship. Yes, thank you, Christ is King. Thank you very much. I have a message for you guys. The whole idea behind psychological warfare is demoralization. They are trying to demoralize us by canceling our movements last minute, by taking our movements off of social media, by censoring us on social media. But you guys, I figured out the antidote. If you guys start using things like Parler, which will not censor you, you start using things like BitChute, which will not censor you, and you use these things in combination, they cannot hijack our information networks. Psychological warfare is about demoralization and the infiltration of our information networks, taking away our ability to communicate.
That's okay.
Are they going to take away your ability to communicate? Are you guys going to have these mass migrations away from the global social media networks? Are we going to allow
Still gotta tap every single photo.
You got your ears on over there? I know. I was like, you know what? With all this ramping up and coming to a close, you never know what's going to happen. So you know what? I know. I mean, it's legal. It's a constitutional carry state. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I really regret it. Really regret it.
Yeah.
I'd go back and get myself, but I think it's worth it. Oh yeah, man, 60 minutes, stay on.
true. Speaking American, it's legacies and Democrats to make interest. I know they think you're sweet, but you don't know who you dealing with. It's for free, because only you ain't got no membership. They free, we don't fit out the cage, cause he innocent. Martin Rogers Stone, we gon' run on that he innocent. We need to kick out every single illegal immigrant. Mandatory voter ID laws, we need it. Tell Justice Smollett that I know this MAGA country. Tell China we know they tryna play us like some dummies. I looked deep into it and I did the math. I did Obama send money to them.
George Soros doing with all of his cash. Why they tryna take that Harvard guy and drop him the bag? Why is there so much propaganda? Funny you ask. How about that Bill Gates vaccine? Now, sorry I passed, cause I'm a gun-toting patriot. God being patriot. Pricing why they mad, cause I'm really Navy faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it. Gun-toting patriot. God being patriot. Pricing why they mad, cause I'm really Navy faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it.
All red MAGA flags waving through the South like we just want 4 more years. Democrats can't get right. Jumping with that easy flow. Don't go broke on Sleepy Joe. Make America great again. Seeing that what you had before. Military working overtime. I salute y'all. Antifa steady trying to play them games. Yeah, we see y'all. Can't knock us down. Republicans standing too tall. About to run it back to back. Yeah, that's how we ball. Trump, yeah. Okay, bury him a legend. Yeah, Trump. Hey, okay, America's biggest blessing. Free speech advocate, packing never lacking it. I just bought another gun and ain't nobody taking it. Gang, gang. Okay, the White House going crazy now. MAGA season, tell them liberals they can't break us down. It's up, they know we run it, best believe it now. About to paint the city red, please don't burn it down.
I'm a gun-toting patriot, God-being patriot. Pressing why they mad, cause I'm really Navy faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it.
And I want to make this clear as well. If you want to come and get my rifle, good luck. And I want to make this clear as well. If you want to come and get my rifle, good luck.
And we will make America great again. Thank you, Ohio. We have it again. Thank you, Florida. Thank you,
there, but
Yeah.
hard feelings.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Working my ass off, but yeah. Had to make room for all my equipment, so med kit front, there, right there. This thing has got unlimited power.
I just got all my fucking gear, but I just fucking.
Alright.
I got all my shit back now and stuff. I'm super pumped on that one. From California courts, they're like, yeah, you got shafted on that.
Oh, yeah.
Years ago, man. They're like, this should have never even went as far as it did.
Mm-hmm.
They did all of that noise. Yeah, it was super slow.
Yeah. I'm looking to get a little, it's a portable, what do you call it, encoder or Wi-Fi, basically HDMI to transmitter to phone straight out to whatever.
My Teradek shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because apparently Sony basically took away the program that allows this thing to stream once you're hooked up to Wi-Fi. They just sort of ended that. It's they have the ability. No, Sony.
Yeah.
On their servers, they basically you have to pay like $100 premium or something like that to even stream. But they don't. You can't stream to YouTube or Facebook anymore because they took the codecs away from the last upgrade or software update. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's
Well, there are. Yeah. Yeah. Was there last time? I guess the police had their little FLIR drones out there.
Oh, they've been out in 20, dude. I was talking to these cops. I'm like,
They're like $4,000. B&H.
dude, they fly for like
Well, actually, they've been taking turns, like say 20 minutes at a time, and then they just sort of stay there, stationary.
back and forth. Yeah, I see on film, but I really watched that drone stuff.
Oh yeah.
They got some serious shit.
Oh, I know.
And it looked like the DJI Inspire.
It's the Mavic. The Mavic Enterprise with the dual lens FLIR, and it's got the little strobe on top to alert aircraft. Yeah, there is a market for it, except besides eBay, B&H, where they sell all their surveillance, counter surveillance, radios, everything, photography. They've got that drone there, plus all the other drones from DJI and other manufacturers. Ah. Yeah. Oh, snap.
We've given up on it.
Ah.
That's the phone that the Clippers got.
Ah.
So, I'm holding off, crossing my fingers for it. If DHS gets in there and gets it, they pulled over 50 people out of this one.
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, it's as deplorable as those locations are. I know. I gotta go and get my. I'm gonna retire this thing. I'm gonna go get my camera. Miguel Flores caught sight of me and motioned me to come over, and I just sort of kept it cool and hardly said anything. I'm assuming that Lewis is not here, so he must be back down in 3 Points still. Cool. Is it?
Yeah, I'm a
Is it a Zoom?
It's just on the phone.
Okay.
I'm a precinct committeeman down from LD9, and we're trying to get protests organized outside of the residence of Maricopa County Board of Electors who are blocking the recount, blocking the audit.
They do not have the authority to do that.
Well,
They can actually be forcibly removed for doing that because politicians don't have a say in all
Well, we've got the right.
What was that incident that happened during World War II? The Battle of what? Alkins or something like that? I forgot what the name of it was, but it was during when a Democratic leader took over and just forced everyone. No, it was here in the U.S.
Hitler is a democratic socialist. You know,
Hitler was a national socialist.
Same thing, really. You look at like their
the democratic socialist is more like a communist.
Yeah, to me, they're all one and the same because they want government controlled society.
Yeah, I mean, just a Unitarian.
Battle of Athens. That's what it is.
The only Unitarian that I think should be in place is for economic trade. That's it. Where,
I'm gonna do a little.
Every country has something that they can provide to the world.
What is the Battle of Athens?
We need the thing about it is that there's no public pressure on these elected officials, and they're trying to run the clock out.
So this is basically what Athens is. Basically a rise against tyranny.
Also, you know, the Democrats own
Athens,
the media.
Georgia?
Yeah. It's like that's one thing that was never taught when I was in school. I'm like, what the heck is going on with history? They leave out the key points.
Well, this is totally unprecedented, what we're seeing now.
Yeah.
I mean, the media running a massive psychological operation on the public.
So two things can be done. 12th Amendment can come into play, which forces Congress and Senate to vote.
Yeah.
Or Trump can write an executive order and force a full-blown nationwide open ballots revote.
Yeah, there's a lot that could be done, and
with U.S. Marshals present there to carry the votes to D.C. to get counted.
We've got some time, but right now they're trying to run out the clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, this might be your last protest of the year or the season, but if you want to do more protests, the protesting needs to take place outside the houses of these public officials that are blocking it now. That's what we're trying to do, is take these protests to the next level. You know, like this is a nice free speech zone. Well, the free speech zone outside of the residence is also a free speech zone.
Yeah, as long as we're not on their private property.
Yeah.